Hello and welcome back to the A to Z of alcohol and sobriety, everything you need to know. But it's not just about that, it's about jealousy, Johari's Window, Jomo, Journey and Joy today. We're on the J's. If you want to listen to the previous chapters, then the links for each chapter is in the description down below. Jealousy is often due to our own insecurities. We feel jealous of others and what they have because we feel angry, frustrated, anxious and worried about ourselves and our own life. If we can stay in our hula hoop and focus on ourselves, jealousy will disappear. Remember, the grass is not greener. Everyone has their own issues and battles, no matter how wonderful their life may seem. Jekyll and Hyde. When we drink even a small glass of alcohol, our character changes and what may be okay one day is not okay the next. We cannot be consistent or give consistency when we are anaesthetising ourselves. Alcohol makes us less tolerant and sends our minds wandering all over the place and our imaginations running wild. Our ego cannot keep up the other parts of our mind in line and leads us on a merry dance into a fantasy world without rhyme or reason. One day we will be Snow White and the next the wicked stepmother. Now I'm not going to lie, the first few weeks and months of getting sober can be like this too, with our moods all over the place. But if we stick with it, eventually we get to a place of calm and consistency which makes for a happier life for all involved. The Johari Window. Sounds anciently oriental, doesn't it? It was actually formed by two American psychologists in 1955, Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. This doesn't make it any less wonderful though. It is a model used to help us identify the parts of ourselves that we and others see and helps with self-awareness. We have the open and free area, the parts that everyone can see. The blind area, the parts that others can see but we can't. How do we really look from the back in real time? How did we really behave last time we were drunk? We have the hidden area, the parts that only we can see, all our deep hidden secrets. And the unknown area, unknown to ourselves and others, all the things we've locked tightly away and buried somewhere deep inside of us. By telling others more about ourselves, we gain trust, and by getting feedback from others, we can learn about ourselves and grow. In sobriety, we can come out of hiding, and if we work it, we can start to love ourselves a whole lot more. Getting sober is a voyage of discovery, and eventually we become open and free. Jomo. I love this phrase, the joy of missing out. No more FOMO here. The thought of going to a noisy bar full of drunk people, battling my way through a 10-deep throng to get a drink and getting covered in mine and other people's drinks actually makes me feel physically sick these days. I cannot think of anything worse. How times have changed. The old me couldn't understand why people went to coffee shops or cafes when there was a perfectly good pub next door that served alcohol at 11 a.m. Now I completely get it. I love me a little coffee or tea shop now, and as for the quaint little cafe, well, pubs can eat their hearts out. Journal. A lot of people find it really helpful to journal. It's good to get it all out, and it's also good to look back on and reflect. I didn't do a daily journal, as in pen and paper, but I did post daily on the I Am Sober app in the early days, and later blogged on Instagram and WordPress. I do wish I had written or typed it all out though in one place. I listened to the Sobertown podcast recently with King 13 and her girls talking about the first 2 weeks of sobriety, and I realised that I couldn't actually remember mine, only that I was done and I had a choice to live or die. I did look back on my I Am Sober posts and was surprised to see that I realised loneliness and boredom were triggers at just 2 weeks, not the 2 months that I'd remembered. It can be really helpful to look back on our journey. Journey. This is yours and yours alone. In sobriety, we all have the same goal and aim. We will go through very similar things, but the journey itself is ours. It will be bumpy in parts and smooth at other times. It's important to remember we cannot expect others to join us on this journey or to understand it. After all, there will be parts that we don't even understand ourselves, and that's okay. Like any journey, we will come across hindrances and help, But remember to keep hold of the wheel of your bus and only let those on board that you want to. Joy. I really didn't know that I could feel such depths of a wonderful emotion for so long. I was more used to holding on to depression and anxiety. With sobriety comes real joy and happiness, and it is the best feeling in the world. It's there for the taking. Stop drinking, work it, feel it, love it. Judgment is something we sit in constantly. We have our always already listening way of being. We constantly listen to our ego and our monkey mind and believe what they are telling us. But if we can just stop and really look and listen, then we may allow ourselves time to see things differently. Most importantly, we catch how judgmental we really are. For today, try to come from a place of understanding instead of judgment. It's very refreshing. Jump right in. It's the easiest way to make change, but it's best if you plan first. I didn't plan, I just did it. But I was lucky to find the I Am Sober community. I've jumped right in several times before following a never again experience just to climb back into the pits a week later. So plan and prepare, set a date and do it. Junk food. It's not just alcohol cravings we have when we quit. Our body seems to want sugars and junk food. Maybe due to boredom, sugar replacement, reward or self-harm. I put on 7 kilos when I quit as I craved and ate things that I don't usually even eat. Beware, forewarned is forearmed, as they say. I would suggest making shopping for healthy snacks part of your planning and preparation, along with activities to distract yourself, and use the Am I Really Hungry script, which you can find at the end of the eating section. I hope that was helpful for you today, and I'll be back again tomorrow with Chapter K.